everyone. Like I've said earlier, I'll be picking some of the comments. If there are questions that people ask and just talk about them. And so at one Uzoma, I hope I got that right. I'm sorry, please, if I didn't get it right. He said, Aisha, can you talk about the increase of bread price that even the common man cannot afford it and bakeries are closing or laying off staff? Can the government provide subsidized products, flour, or support bakeries? Just to talk about businesses generally in Nigeria are actually suffering a lot. And so I don't know much about bakery, but I know a little bit because I know my husband and some partners, they have a bakery that they run. And it's been crazy. It's been crazy in terms of the cost of flour and the fact that you can't. So this is the thing about a bread. Bread is something that you can't just increase the price. So like a number of baked, they all have to agree, and sometimes they agree because people want to sell. They bring it down, and then people are selling at a loss, or the profit is very small. The bakeries on their own don't usually make a lot of the profit. Is the distributors that actually make more of the profit. And then at the end of the day, the bakeries, they are at they are liable, or they are responsible for breads that they don't buy, they return it to them. So there's a whole lot of things that is going on. That's one business that me personally, I will never ever put my hand into. Any business that has product that gets spoiled, that are perishable, nah, not me. And so it's really been difficult for bakeries. So a lot of bakeries are closing down. So it's not like the one that you say that, oh, let them just how do I put it now, let me just increase the price. You can't just increase the price. And ironically, bread is mostly eaten more by the lower how do I put it now, the lower wage families, income, the lower income, yeah, income is the word I'm looking for. The lower income people are the ones who eat bread more. Yes, they are the ones who are going to, you can just say your child, oh, you are going to eat that bread, they will eat it with tea, and they will be full and all of that. The higher income don't eat as much bread. That's when you're talking about your health, your this one. They don't take bread as much. And so the moment you begin to take the price of bread higher, they are not able to eat, they are not able to buy it. And then it's a whole lot of issue. And then now more and more people cannot afford to buy bread. The bread that you could buy before, maybe a loaf of like how much, maybe 400, 500. Now you're buying it 1,000. If you have like how many children, if they buy a loaf of bread, will it be enough for them? And then now you're thinking of, by the time you have bread, you can't just eat bread like that, right? You're either taking it with drinks, mineral, you're taking it with tea, you're taking it, you need something to take it with to actually make it, real good. And so it now becomes more of a burden. So if you look at that money, will you just say, okay, can I just buy rice? If I buy rice, I put oil, even if it's pepper and oil, and you cook it, the kids will love it. They will be filled up. You buy rice and beans and put it in. So a lot of people are just trying to get how much can they get for little amount of money. Was that biggest thing, in terms of what's the most utility they can get, what's the most good, you understand, that they can get out of that money. So people are more focused on that. And truly, it's been expensive. And don't forget that Nigeria actually import wheat. Yeah, we don't, even maize. When I tell people we import maize, people are always surprised, like, eh? What do you mean? What about the maize? The maize they are eating is the one you eat by the roadside. The ones they use in industry, they have to import them. That's why the war in Ukraine is affecting a lot of food all over places like Africa. We have the land, but we are not farming. And so wheat has to be imported. With this whole issue of dollar going up and everything, definitely it affects the cost of wheat also. And so it's really been difficult. So a lot of bakeries, you can't keep up. You can't continue to make bread at a loss. And then even bread, if you don't make a certain amount of bread, you're already going to do it at a loss. So you need to sell a certain amount. So it's not the one that I can say, okay, I can just reduce my production and just be doing little. That's what, because for you to even break even, you need a certain number of loaves. That's where, okay, because for some of these bakeries, they are sort of like either automated or semi-automated. The machines are already there. The machines are for certain capacity. And if you don't produce use that capacity, then that means that you're losing out, you're not getting it. So it's a whole lot of intricacies, a whole lot of complex things that are going on, because sometimes people just think that, oh, these business people, they just increase money. No, they're actually suffering. They're actually going through so much. So at the end of the day, some of them are closing down because it's better for them to close down than to continue to make losses. Some of them, they have loans to pay and all of that. And so for me, one of the things that I've said over the years in terms of when it comes to subsidy, I've always said, instead of government to be subsidizing fuel that is used by only a few, right? So when I say that, some people I say, what do you mean? You see, petrol is a luxury. It's a luxury item to an extent. It's not like diesel. Diesel is more commercial than petrol. I've always made this point all the time, even right from during Jonathan when he removed subsidy. For me, I was very happy that subsidy was removed. I've never supported a subsidy, although a good number of the people always say that even if you remove subsidy, these people will not use the money for the greater good. They will be chopping the money on their own, which is part of the things that we are actually seeing right now. So when it comes to petrol is for luxury, small vehicles and all of that. When you begin to look for higher vehicles in terms of trucks that carry food, goods and services, tankers, trailers, you're talking about industry, you're talking about buses that carry a lot of people, they actually use diesel. So diesel is not subsidized. So we are subsidizing luxury. We're not subsidizing the one that is even used commercially. I have always said, instead of subsidizing that petrol, why don't you subsidize food? So that, because that gets to get to a lot of people more. If somebody is well fed, at least a big part of the problem is solved. They say a hungry man is an angry man, right? And then if you have that food insecurity, it helps to a very great extent. But the thing always also is that we have government that is not interested in doing something for the greater good, that is more focused on doing things for themselves. And unfortunately, those are part of the things that we're dealing with. And especially with this illegitimate government that we have, you've seen it. They don't care. It's about their own selfish end. They just came in to be able to do whatever, just do whatever they want to do for themselves, and don't care about what the other people think. So that's it. If you have any comment or any question you want to add, just ask it. I will try as much as possible to be going through the comments, and then I will answer them here. So thank you. I hope I did answer your question. Bye.